Hello you guys, welcome to my channel. So honestly, the last month and a bit has actually been quite eventful. I haven't really updated you guys at all. Sometimes if something's a bit stressful, it just makes me feel like not really talking about it, which has kind of been the case, to be honest. But I thought it was probably time to give you guys an update just so you know where all the horses are at. Yeah, it's been a real one. Like the last month and a bit, every single one of them has either injured themselves or gotten sick. And yeah, my vet bills, there's a lot of them. Quite a few. And I'm at the farm all day today with the horses. I'm going to ride Peach, so I kind of thought it was a good chance to like film a barn vlog and just give you guys all a huge update on everything. But yeah, I'm going to go and give Tic Tac some hay now because she will be patiently awaiting her afternoon snack. And then we can go down to Peach and Fletch and give you an update on them as well. I see you, Tic Tac. You want your hay, don't you? I got your hay. It's actually earlier than usual, so I don't know why you're so impatient. Eh? Oh my god, you're so much like your mum. So I'm sure already a lot of you guys have guessed from the title of this video that yes, this extremely troublesome foal actually did colic recently. It was really scary. It happened a few days out from Christmas, which also was not ideal timing. I'd been here all day until like the early afternoon and she was completely fine. And then I came back to feed up the horses that night. I think I came back at like 5 or 6 p.m. and she clearly was not right. So every night she gets her lucerne hay, and she's usually extremely keen to get said lucerne hay, and she was completely disinterested in it. And then the much more worrying sign was that she was clearly in discomfort. She was groaning, and she was also continuously getting down, rolling, trying to lie down, getting back up, getting back down. So it was clear that, you know, things weren't right with her, and straight away I was thinking, well, this really seems like colic. So I called my vet out, and I'm so lucky, but my vet was really close by, so she only took 10 minutes and she was here. While I was waiting for my vet, I was just leading her around, making sure that she wasn't going to keep getting down and rolling, just trying to keep her comfortable. It was a bit stressful then because she kept trying to, like, number one, she was trying to get down to roll while I was leading her. She was also sort of pushing into me, almost like trying to fall into me because she was so uncomfortable. So like I said, the vet got here really quickly. She sedated her first off, assessed her, and then treated her for colic. It was really clear that that's what it was. So the vet has now been out. This little one is obviously sedated. As you can see, she's very quiet, looking quite sleepy there. So the good news is that she doesn't have a temperature and she's still got bowel movements happening, so that's also a good sign. She's had some medication. So yeah, we've just got to watch her now for the next few hours, and if she goes back to normal then we're fine, and then if she doesn't then I'll be getting the vet out again. So hopefully she's just going to bounce back now. She's also has done a poop, so that's also a good sign. So yeah, just going to keep watching her for now. I can't believe how bad my luck has been lately with these guys, it's ridiculous. But yeah, while the vet was here, she did take the opportunity to take the little one's bandage off her foot. So that's awesome. You guys will be able to see it was actually getting a little bit gunky, so we knew we had to kind of get rid of it pretty soon, because you can't have them bandaged forever. It usually does start to rub a little bit like it has there. But the good news is that she doesn't need to wear the boot anymore because the hole has really grown out now. So the hole actually goes up through the bottom of the hoof, and this is the top part that's now sort of broken open. So basically the hole actually goes up through the foot, and this is where it's sort of popped out and come through. So initially when this happened, the hole was like sort of up here, quite high up on the hoof. So obviously that was quite bad and quite painful for her, and it's grown out a heap even in the 2 months that we've been treating it. So the vet's really happy with how it's going. So that will probably break away in a little bit, but that won't cause her any harm or any pain or anything like that. So yeah, thank God at least one thing's finally over. And yeah, now we're just going to be watching this one for the next few hours, making sure she's okay. You're the most expensive free foal I think anyone's ever had. Do you know that? Now clearly she's behind me right now and is completely fine, so yes, she did recover, but it was very, very scary, especially for that to happen to such a young horse, and we still don't know what it was. Sort of weird. She'd been in that paddock for weeks already. We hadn't had any extreme weather, no heat, no crazy rain. She hadn't been fed that day until I went to bring them the hay that afternoon, so bit of a weird one. We're not sure what really triggered it off, and hopefully it just doesn't happen again, because yeah, very scary. I've never had a horse colic before, and I hope to never have another one again, because yeah, obviously it can be quite serious. And then on her hoof, so that is finally doing a lot better now as well. So the poor thing, that hole in her hoof was so big that we literally had her in a bandage for months. It's finally been able to stay off now because the hole has grown out enough that it's not bothering her. Like even until probably about 4 weeks ago, she was still sensitive and slightly lame on it. That's how much of an injury it was. So here's the crack now, and as you guys can see, it has grown out so much. You can also see she's still got a little bit of the warping, happening on the hoof as well. That was just from the bandage, unfortunately, because it kept her hoof so wet, and because they're so soft and malleable when they're young, it did just put a bit of a warp through it. So, okay, where are you going? So that'll just grow out with time, and you can also see that that rub patch now has, is it focused? Yeah. So you can see the couple of grey hairs, just where we got a little bit of rub going on, but again, like that's healing over really well now too. She just really needs another good trim, which will be due in a few weeks' time, and we'll be almost back to normal, which will be really good. Okay. And then no more injuries allowed, okay? Yep. Cool. Good deal.
I got it so bad. I got it bad for you. You give me good love. You're like a dream come true.
To give you guys a very quick update on Fletcher as well, so a lot of you would already know that back in November he did go in to have surgery. He had 3 teeth removed. So the reason for the teeth removal is that 2 of his teeth already had holes in them, and he has the beginnings of a degenerative tooth disease. So he may need more teeth removed, but at the moment it's just the 3 that were affecting him. So the good news is that Fletch has recovered really, really well. It healed up super nicely. We never really had any issues. It just all went very, very smoothly. And then the bad news is that unfortunately the operation was not like the solution to his head shakers. I was hoping that it would completely stop after we had those teeth removed, but it didn't. So that was very, very upsetting at the time. I'm kind of back to being okay about that now. We're just managing him, but it was very upsetting. I think I just put way too much hope on the fact that this was going to be like a simple fix, and of course it wasn't, as is often the way with head shakers. It is very complicated and there's not really one answer on how to treat it, but I will say he is doing a lot better than when he was initially diagnosed. It definitely has helped, but it hasn't cut the head shakers completely out. So now my real focus with him is just to manage his environment. So as you can see, he's behind me right now in his shelter with a whole heap of round bale hay, and he's got Peach in as well, which he is absolutely loving having her as a neighbour again. So it's working really, really well because Peach likes to stand in her shelter, and that helps Fletch remember to go and stand in his, because otherwise he kind of avoids coming in here, even though the sun and the heat really is what triggers his head shakers. So when he's in here, you guys can see he's perfectly fine. It's only when he's out in the sun that it'll sort of start up again. So this is part of the management. So this is Fletcher's little shelter setup. As you can see, he's numbing away on a big pile of round bale hay. We just pull it off for him as he needs it. He's got quite a big pile at the moment. We've also got a water trough in here too. This isn't his main water, but sometimes when his face is particularly irritated, he likes to dip it in his water bowl, which helps him stop head shaking. So yeah. And just lastly as well, because a lot of you guys have been asking me sort of what my plans are with Fletch, if I'm going to take him back to riding or when he's coming back into riding. So I guess essentially I haven't really addressed it because I'm really not sure. It depends on a lot of things, and at the moment he's still head shaking, so I'm kind of just waiting for that to die down a bit as the season changes. So if it's similar to the last year, in the next probably month or so, it'll disappear. Seems to be a seasonal thing for him. So once that sort of goes, my next step is that I also want to get him assessed by my vet. And the reason for that is that Fletcher's always had a twingy thoroughbred back. I'll show you guys a close-up because you can just see how much top line he's lost. So all the muscle across his back and in his hindquarters especially too has completely gone because he's had such a huge amount of time off. And the issue is that because he does have a twingy back, he really relies on that extra muscle to act as a support. And because he has lost so much of it, it is affecting him a little bit. He's not overtly lame, but you can see that he's just like a little bit like clunky and not quite right. So it wouldn't be the right thing to also just get back on and start riding him. I probably almost need like a rehab program for him. Maybe I need to do like water walking with him or something like that, just to strengthen him up that way before I jump straight back on. But I also want to rule out that there's nothing too crazy happening in his pelvis in particular, because it was a little sore recently. So once that's all ruled out, I'm hoping that I'll have a better idea of where we're at. And honestly, at this point, I would just be very happy for him to be like my trail riding horse, and that would be fine. Even if he can no longer be ridden, he will always have a home with me. So he might end up just being like Tic Tac's paddock mate for the rest of his days, and I don't think that's that bad of a life for an old retired thoroughbred, hey? Hopefully I can ride him again though. I guess I'm just like not putting my hopes on anything because, yeah, I just don't know yet. I just don't have the answers yet, but I will definitely let you guys know when I know.
I shouldn't doubt you. I'm all up in my head when I'm without you.
And not to be outdone by the other two, Miss Peach, who is supposedly my well-behaved horse, also decided to injure herself the other week. And it was a bit of a weird one because it seems like she's just overreached and she's clipped herself on her front leg and cut her heel. But she's done a pretty decent job on it, and she isn't shot at all, so I wouldn't expect that she could get such a deep cut, but somehow she managed it. The good thing is that not infected, and it wasn't making her lame, and it didn't get swollen or anything like that, even though it was like a pretty decent cut. And it was just one of those cuts that was quite annoying because it really wasn't that bad in the scheme of things, but because it was in such an awkward location, I couldn't really ride her until it healed up a little bit. But the good news is that this week I was able to bring her back into work. Today will be her second ride of the week, and yesterday she was absolutely amazing, so I'm really happy to have her back.
Reaching out, and my heart is with you. So much in between, things we've never seen. You're a mirage that my mind can't see through. Are you here with me? One day we can see. All my life, unbroken ways, but I know that time makes ways. But I know that time makes ways. And all my life, unbroken ways, but I know that time makes ways. But I know that time makes ways.
And the other thing that actually has been hampering our riding quite a bit is the amount of smoke in the air. Now at the moment it has actually been amazing. It has been so much better because we've had some rain, but yeah, the smoke was so bad at one point that I pretty much gave Peach a week off before she got the 3 weeks off. So it's almost 4 weeks that she's kind of had off.
All my life, unbroken ways, but I know that time makes ways. But I know that time makes ways. And will my life be there one day? All I know is frozen waves, but I'm hoping time makes ways.
can never get over how relaxed this horse is. Like, she's just unbelievably chill. It's crazy. That was, like I said, only our second ride back, and she was absolutely amazing. Obviously we have so much to work on, but it's just her attitude to it that I absolutely love. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, you can subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. I do put one up every single week, and you can also find me on Instagram and on TikTok at hand.equestrian if you want to see more of the horses and myself. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.